in our last session we understood about the foreign key relationship, right? Table maintenance generator, and also what is foreign key relationship and use of foreign key relationship. So if you get any doubts, Venktesh and Venkatesh, please feel free to stop me, and others also, anyways, you know it, but they are new about this topic. Indexes. What is indexes? Primary index and also secondary index. What is index now? You know what is table, right? All of you? Table is used to store data in the database physically. Correct, guys? That's what table, right? And now what is index? So indexes are also like table only. Okay, let me write. Okay, so index is a copy of database table, okay, with few fields. Why it is important, I'll tell you, we will understand. Index is a copy of database table with few fields. Okay, not all the fields of the table index will be storing, but only few fields of the table will be available in the index. Okay, so index are used to speed up the searching of data in the database. Okay, they are basically used to speed up the searching process speed up the searching of the data in the database. Okay, so which satisfies or matches the search criteria. Okay, so let's understand this. Just a minute. Spelling mistake. Which matches the search criteria, right? And let's take the database table now. Sorry, first of all, let's take the database. This is our database, right? So this is where our data will be stored permanently in the form of tables. Correct, everybody? In the database, right? This is where the data will be stored in the form of tables. Okay, so let's also take the tables. Maybe I'll just take this one or this one.
Rajnish, can you make the screen full screen? Because screen is there all.
Search. Okay, what is binary search? We will see in upcoming chapter, don't worry. Okay, so and secondary indexes take advantages of sorted data to search records using binary search. Okay, what is binary search? We will see in upcoming chapter. Once we start the programming, we will start it. Okay, there are two types of indexes. One is primary index and other one is secondary index. These are the two types of indexes we have. One is primary index, one is primary index, the other one is secondary index. So what is primary index now? The primary index contains the key field of the table. Okay, and or else let's say the primary index will be created at or when we activate the table with key fields. Okay, it will be created automatically when we activate the database table. It will be created automatically. Okay, so you don't have to worry about the primary index based on the key field. Okay, let's say for example this is the key field of the table. Okay, if you consider Mara is a key field of the table, so with this table one more table will be created with Mara like this. Okay, and this indexes will also have, they will also have one more column with this. Okay, that is what we call it as pointer. Let's say so this is what we call pointer. So this will be having like this is belongs to first row, second row, third row and fourth row. Okay, it will be created, this is a index, primary index table. It will be created automatically at the time of creating table when we activate it, and we along with a pointer. So what this pointer will be doing, the pointer will be pointing to the rows of the table. Okay, it will be pointing to the rows. Let's say for example this pointer will be pointing to, this is the first row, sorry, this is first row, second row, like this. There will be pointer pointing to the main table data. Okay, so whenever you write a select statement, select statements are basically used to bring the data from database to application layer. We will see that also in the next chapter, don't have to worry now, just remember. So we will be storing data in the database table, right? This is, sorry, so this is where we store the data in the database. So if you want to bring that to the application layer, we have to write select statement. I'll show you in upcoming classes, upcoming chapters, so we will see. So now whenever you write select statement on the key field, okay, for example select the data from table Mara where field is equal to, where MATNR is equal to 1000, something like this. So what system will do, system will scan this table first. Okay, let's say for example, let me write the select statement and tell you so that you can understand better. Let's say you're going to write a select statement, select star from this Mara table. Okay, and then keep the table data into table, internal table Mara. What is internal table we will see, don't worry guys, it's a memory allocated in application layer to store the data temporarily. We will see where MATNR is equal to, maybe let's say you're looking for 1000. Okay, so this is the select statement that you have written, and where is the 1000 now? So whenever you write select statement like this, what system will do, okay, system will first scan the small table. Okay, it is going to scan this table. This is very small, right? Only one column is available. With that there is also an pointer. So what it is going to do, it is going to scan this table for the records. Okay, so now the 1000 is available in the first row. The pointer is also pointing to the table data, main table data. So it is not going to scan this entire table whenever we write select statements on the key field. MATNR is the key field. It's not going to scan the complete table. Okay, it's only going to scan the small table and going to there is a pointer and it will be pointing to the main table. So from this table it's going to get the complete row. Okay, so this is how it works when you write select statement on the key fields. That is the reason it is faster. Anybody any doubts till now? Are we clear? Guys, all of you understood so far?
Yes.
Everyone? So far so good?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Rajnish,
Yeah.
here you use the numeric literals, right? Like that you enclose within single or first office. Is it required like that?
Yes, in the select statement. Yeah, that's how we write. It is like hard
But in
coded
previous
bash.
session,
We call
yeah,
it
but in
as,
previous session, no, you had said in the explanation that for whenever numeric literals are there, apostrophe is not required.
Actually this is a character data type. In the character I'm storing number,
Okay.
right? You know
Okay.
MATNR, right? It's a character 18 field and it's a and also it is a number here, right?
Okay. Fine.
So that's what. So numeric means we should also pass the zeros in front of it. I'm not doing it anyways, that's fine, you will get to know later. So okay, let's come
Okay.
back. So now when you write it, you understood, right? First it will scan this table, only one column is there, this column, only one column, this is column and this is row. So only one column is there, the scan happens very fast and it found that the pointer 1, that means first row, it's going to get the entire row and store it into IT underscore Mara. Okay, this is how it works when you write select statement on the key fields. Okay, so what if you write select statements on the non-key field? Okay, let's say for example, if you write a select statement on non-key field, that means let's say MTART is a non-key field. Maybe you're looking for MTART and then here you are looking for FERT value. This is a non-key field of a table, right guys? Right? Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Right, this is a non-key field, right? So what happens now? Whenever you write select statement on non-key field, system is not going to scan this table data because there is no index table. It's going to do entire table scan. So if it is going to do entire table scan, then what could be the problem? What can be the problem? Who will tell me? It's
It
going,
takes time.
yeah, it's going to scan the entire table because the row store. Okay, so let me also tell you what is row store. Maybe I cannot tell you very detailed because that's again a BAP on HANA, but little bit of it let me tell you how it stores the data. Okay, you see guys, here the row store do scanning like this. Okay, it will, the row store, this is the table, and when you make it a row store, okay, this is how the table data will be stored, one after the other. Understood? Like this, you see first row here, second row here, third row here, fourth row here, one row after the other. This is how row stores the data. Clear? Understood? So now when you perform such, so this is how the data will be stored in a row store. Okay, one row after the other. Okay, whenever you scan it goes, the scanner, the system scan for every column, each and every column of the table. That takes so much time. So that's why we used to have, or we used to create the secondary indexes or the primary indexes. This was the purpose of indexes. How index will improve the performance? So instead of going through all the columns, system only scans the required column. This is how the performance will be improved in the row store, but in column store this is how the data will be stored. Okay, the data will be stored, each table data will be stored as a column here. Okay, that means each columns act like an index in the HANA database. Actually this is a concept of HANA database. If you ever take a ABAP or HANA course, maybe I will tell you that time. It takes at least an hour to explain what is row store and column store. Okay, just to give a glimpse how it will be stored. So because of that reason, what system will do? System will scan entire table. If it is going to scan entire table, then obviously the performance of the select statement will be reduced. Correct? Correct guys? Hello, do you agree?
Yes.
Everyone?
Yeah. Rajesh.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So because of this reason, sometimes what we used to write so many select statements where the condition, or where we used to fetch the data based on the material type. Okay, based on some secondary key column or non-key field. It's a non-key field, right? MTART is a non-key field. Sometimes we also get requirement where we write base select statement on non-key field, that time the performance of the select statement will be very slow because it will scan entire table. So now to improve the performance of the select statement, what we also used to do, we used to create something called secondary indexes. Okay, so what is secondary index now? Okay, let's say like primary index, you can also create secondary index, or you can also create index called as secondary index. Okay, secondary index are typically means it doesn't mean that it should be always like this, right? So I can say most of the times. Okay, secondary index are typically created on non-key fields. You can also include key fields if you want to, nobody will stop you, but if it is really necessary, otherwise you don't have to include. Okay, basically created on non-key field. That means, so you have seen the performance, there is a issue with the performance. So now if you want to improve the performance of this, so then you have to create another index called secondary index. This secondary index are created using the non-key fields of the table. Okay, using non-key fields of the table. So let me just add one more, maybe I'll just copy this. So now what system is going to do, system is this one is a primary index created based on the key field. Let me also write. Okay, this is the primary index, and this one is a secondary index which is created based on the using non-key field. Okay, secondary index. So now again there is a pointer here, it will be pointing to the main table data. So now whenever you write select statement, it won't go and do complete table scan, rather it will scan this table first. Okay, it will scan this table first and then it will take the pointer and then it will go to the main table. So this way the performance of the select statement will be improved. Understood? Guys, clear to you?
The secondary index is also created automatically, no?
No, we create the secondary index, but primary index will be created automatically when we activate the table. Secondary index will be created by us if it is required. If the select statement, there are too many select statements and performance of that select statement is too slow now, because of that, if it is affecting the program runtime. So then to improve the performance of that select statement, we create secondary index based on the non-key fields. Sometimes in some situation there are key fields also included if it is necessary. Understood?
Oh, yes, sir.
Anybody any doubts till now? Okay, secondary index has advantage of sorted data to do binary search, and also pointing to main table data. Okay, I hope all of you clear. We will see if it is clear to you, then we will see in the system, we'll create in the system. Clear everyone? Everyone understood, guys, what is index and also what is secondary index? I guess it is clear. Let's log in. And one more thing, in HANA database we don't create indexes. Actually it's very rare that we create, because in column store each table act like an column, each column act like in secondary index, so we don't create them. Okay, because there is also a disadvantage of having secondary index in the table. What is the disadvantage we will see. Okay, so let's go back and let's log into the server, and you know that we have created a table in our last session. We'll use that table to create secondary index. So the table z mat batch 20, and this is a table that we created, right? So what I'm going to do, so if you see, there will be an index already. Let me go to utilities, database object here, and database utility. You can see here there will be, okay, sorry, indexes I should have displayed instead of going to database utility. No problem, let me just close it. Again, utility, database object, say display. Okay, so now you see what and all objects already created in the database. You can able to see this is the main table which is already created. Okay, so there is a one index created, that is actually primary index. You see that index created based on the key field of the table. MANDT and MATNR are the key field of the table. Based on this two key field, there is another table exists in the database. That is what we call it as index table. This is a primary index which is created automatically. I have not created it. It's a primary index created on the primary key field. Understood? Guys, clear to you? This is the primary index. We will create one more index called as secondary index. How do you create? So very simple. So I'm using the latest server, that is S4. So you may be using ECC. So you may not see this index tab here, but you will be able to see the index button here somewhere in the application toolbar. Okay, but I have it here. So same option, just a button is provided here, but for you it will be there here. Okay, after that there no index exists so far. Here there is an icon, say create, and create index. Extension index means already there is an index exist. Maybe it's the standard index, you want to add some more fields to it, then in that case you can use index name here. Let's say a z mat b20, let's say z material type, something like that. I'll just create zmt, execute. That is the index name. It's a 3-character field, and here you can provide the short description. Let's say a secondary index for material type. Okay, so after that there are so many options here. The first one, let me tell you about unique index. Okay, let's say for example you are creating an index that also includes the key field of the table. If it is including the key field of the table, then the data of the table or the index will become unique. It won't be a non-unique. Okay, if you are creating an index with a only non-key fields, maybe you're having multiple non-key fields or single non-key field, then data cannot be unique, right? So in that case you have to select non-unique index. Depends on whether the key field is included or not. If it is included, select the unique index, because if the key field is included, then index table data will be unique only. If all the key fields of the table is included, that's when it becomes unique, not only one or two key fields. Okay, not all the key fields of the tables are included, then it becomes unique index. Otherwise it's a non-unique index. In our case we are going to create a non-unique index because it's a non-key field. We are not even including the key field of the table. So now non-unique index. So there are 3 options here. Index on all database system. That means you know that the advantage of 3-tier architecture is to you can connect to any database anytime, right? You can switch the databases without having dependency, right guys? So while they're switching the databases, if you want to create whatever the database they change, if you want to create index on all the databases, you can select this option. In some cases, let's say you don't want to create index on all the databases, only on some selected database, or you want to exclude some databases also, then you can select this. If you select this, there is a button here, you can click on this button and you see there is a selection list. Selection means which and all the databases you want to create the index, right? You want to create index on db2, db4, mysql server, right, or sys database, or you can also exclude the list by saying please don't create index for HANA database. You can also do that. That is what second option. Understood all of you? Is these two options clear to everyone? Any doubts till now? Hello guys, are we clear so far, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Rajneesh.
Yeah. Okay, so now the last option here, no database index. That means the structure of the index will be exist in application layer. In the data dictionary you will have the index. Here you will have the index, but not on the database. It is just and structure. In future, if you want that index, you can enable, you can select any of the first or second option, but just you want to keep it inactive, you don't want to delete but you want to keep it inactive, you can select this. There is no use of this index. This is just exist in the application layer only, not in the database layer. That means there is no use. Okay, so let me go with the first option, index on all the databases, and you can click here on the table fields and you can select for which field you want to create index. You can also have multiple fields, you can select multiple fields and create it, but I'll go with a single field. Okay, so select the column and say copy, and after that you see the column is appearing here, and then you just activate, the index will be created on the database. You see object saved and activated. If you go back and see utilities, database object and display, there will be one more table created. See, on MTART, this is the secondary index. Understood? You see this index doesn't include the primary key field, and it is also not unique. It exists in the database. X means exists in the database, but primary key and unique fields are not included. Understood guys, all of you? This is how we create the secondary index. You see, now we will be also able to see this index here. Anybody, any doubts so far till now? No doubts? Everyone understood? Okay, good. So what are the things that we should consider while creating indexes? It's not like just go and create index. The problem, there are other disadvantages of having secondary index also. Let's understand those disadvantages. You should consider these points before you create secondary indexes. Okay, so what is the first disadvantage that you can see here? What is the first disadvantage that you see here? Nobody able to make it? So let's say you're storing this data, this column data here also in the main table also. Again, this column data, main table also, here also. Here also you're storing, here also you're storing. This column data here also you're storing. Again you're storing here also. Right guys? Right? All of you?
Yes.
Duplicate storage. If you are duplicating the storage, then it's consuming extra memory, right? If you are having same movie twice in your laptop or in your mobile, or 10 times you are save movie, then you're extra, simply you're wasting the memory, right? Right guys? This is the reason you should consider whether it is really important or not. Let's say the select statement is used in only one program, and that program is used once in a year, and the performance of the program is low. Do you want to improve the performance? You don't have to, right? Because once in a year user can adjust. It's not every day they are running, right? Let's say there is a program, there are 10 programs. In 10 programs all the same table is used, and the field is also non-key field, and those programs are used every day, and performance of the program is too slow because of the select statement. Then we can create secondary indexes, right? You should consider the scenarios and also disadvantage at the time of creating secondary indexes. If it is really necessary, then you can create it. If not, then you can just tell the user to adjust, right? Because it's also going to affect indirectly. Okay, so let's say since index store data again, copy of main table data again, right? Main table data again, so it consume additional memory. It consumes additional memory, extra memory it will consume. Okay, so that is the first disadvantage that we have, and there is also another disadvantage. Okay, so there is one more disadvantage. Let me copy it. Okay, let's say for example there are indexes which is having same column. Okay, so let's say MTRT exists here also, again MTRT exists here also. Okay, and maybe one more column I'll just have. If you create index like this, then there is a problem again. So what is the problem now? Let's consider you write a select statement. Okay, so let's say this is your application layer, right? And you also know that there is a DBI, database interface, right? It converts the OpenSQL to the native SQL statement, that means to the DB language. And in the database we have one component called SQL optimizer. Okay, so we have something called SQL optimizer. Let me take which one? Okay, let's say we have something called SQL optimizer. So what is the advantage, or what is the use of SQL optimizer, or what SQL optimizer will do in the database? Okay, so the SQL optimizer will optimize the select statement that you fire to the database. Okay, that means you will throw, or you will execute 10 select statements to the database, right? All the select statements executed via SQL optimizer. It will optimize which select statement should be executed first, which database should be called first, which selects whether the table data should be scanned first on index table or on the main table. All these things will be planned by SQL optimizer. Understood? So what are the select statement that you write? Okay, let's say you have written some select statement that is converted to the native SQL, and let me copy the select statement. So let's say this is the select statement that you have written, and the DBI converted to the it has converted it to the native SQL statement, where it needs maybe brackets here, depends on the database. Okay, and now this select statement will be executed. It will be passed to the SQL optimizer. Okay, so this SQL optimizer decides it should be scanned on index table or it should be scanned on main table. So now they have written the select statement, but there is a field MTRT, right? The where class in a non-key, it's a non-key field and the field is MTRT. This MTRTs exist in the this index table also, and also in this secondary index also. Now tell me where system should scan, in which index system should scan, right guys, where it should scan. So let me just see. Yeah, I think right. So where it should scan now? Either it should scan in the first index or in the second index. Where it should scan? Both has MTID column, right? Right guys? Both has MTID. Where it should scan? Here or here? So it may end up by this, because of this reason, if your secondary indexes having same column, if multiple secondary indexes are having same columns, in that case system may not do index search, it will end up with doing full table scan. So again, if it is going to do full table scan, then what is the problem? Performance reduction, right? There is no use of creating indexes, right guys? That's why you should be careful while you are creating secondary indexes also. Okay, if you are having multiple secondary index with the same column, SQL optimizer may not choose the right one, and then it will end up with scanning old table again. So again, it's a waste, right? If secondary index has similar columns, okay, similar columns and similar columns, in this case SQL optimizer may not be able to choose the right index and end up scanning whole table. Understood? Are we clear, all of you, till now? Guys, is this clear to everyone? So far so good? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Everyone? Only one S. What about others? Are we clear? Guys, are we clear, all of you?
Yeah, Rajnish, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah, please.
Sir, already you told no that material number and the material type. Again, we won't create no, sir, the key field. Already it would have been created automatically, no, sir.
You can also have it, right? There is another option if you remember. Okay, let me log into server again. You had seen one unique and non-unique index. Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
So if it is unique index, then there's a chance of having the key field of the table, right? You can also include it. It doesn't mean that you cannot include or you cannot have the key field again. You can also have. Let me show you. See, I can have the key field also. Then it becomes unique index.
Okay. Sir.
Understood?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, here I have only few fields in the table, but if you consider table Mara, the standard table, there are so many columns here. Let's say multiple index is having MTART column, then it's a problem, right? See, SAP also created so many indexes already. You see, this has MTRT, and let's see if any other index has. Actually, in S4 system, most of the indexes have been removed. Okay, it's not, doesn't have. Let's say if you create one more index having MTRT column, then it's a problem. It's a issue. You can also create secondary indexes for the standard table, same way like I did for the Z table, but will not disturb the standard one. Okay, same steps you can also create for the custom secondary indexes for the standard tables also. Okay, so that's all about the index, guys. If you have doubts, you can ask me. Otherwise, we'll discuss on next topic. Are we clear? Okay, the next one is database utility. What is database utility now? So the transaction code for this is SE14. Okay, so database utility will help to activate and adjust table with runtime objects created in application layer. Okay, so I'll tell you what is the use of it. Okay, you see guys, what I'm trying to do now, that is because of index that I selected. Okay, so now let's say you have the table and you have selected this as a key field, right? You have 3 key fields. Now what you want to do, maybe you want to delete this field itself from the table, or you want to remove this as a you want to make this field as a non-key field. Okay, so and then when you check, it is throwing an error. It's not permitted. Even when you try to activate the table, it will not allow you to activate, because the runtime object, the application layer object, is different from the database object. It is not allowing you now. You see, it's not at all allowing me. It's giving error. It's not allowing me to activate the table. You're getting it, right? Because I changed it from key field to non-key field, right guys? Hello?
Yes.
So now in this case, you want to forcefully adjust the runtime object that is created in application layer. You see, this is the runtime object. This is the runtime object. You want to adjust this runtime object with a database object. You see, in the database object, still MTART is a key field. You can see MTART is a key field still, right? You want to adjust this with a database object. That's when you go with database utility. Either you can use SE14 transaction code, otherwise go to utilities, and here you have option database object and database utility, and after that there is an option here, activate and adjust the database. Otherwise delete the database table. Persist the data means keep the data in the database table. Delete means delete the data of the database table. Let's keep it. I'll go with activate and adjust the database table. Earlier I was unable to activate it, but now you see it will activate the database table. It will adjust. Saying primary key not permitted for what is this? 1 minute. It should allow me to activate. Why? Okay guys, there is a problem actually, one more issue. So what we have done, there was another table that we created, if you remember, ZMAKT, right? And we established foreign key relationship for this table too. This is the table. So there is a foreign key relationship which exists already, so it's not allowing me to activate first of all. So let me delete it first. There is a dependency, that's why it's not allowing me. So now I go back, and now again you see I check for an error, still structure change at field level, it will not allow me to activate. You see there's a change in the structure of the database, it's not allowing me. You see reference log, it's throwing error. So that's when you can go and use the database utility, database object, database utility, and here now activate and adjust the database and say yes, it will help you to activate. This is what the use of, see, successfully executed. Now the table is also in active status. Understood the use of database utility? Hello guys, clear?
Yes.
Anybody any doubts till now, till today? And interview questions they may ask you on TMG. Let me write it here. Transaction code for TMG and then use of TMG. Okay, so how many of you completed this? Anybody? None of you completed assignment?
Sir, I completed.
You also able to default it, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So anybody others? Nobody? No one completed? Hello? Please complete assignment guys, it's a request. And maybe on secondary index they may ask what is index and difference between secondary and primary index. And T code for database utility. These are the interview questions guys. So now this topic I'll cover when we discuss structures. There is a dependency. we'll understand this when we discuss the structure topic. Okay, so now we're done with this topic. Till here we are done. In the next class we will start on views, that means tomorrow's class. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for your time and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.